Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. New details have emerged in Australia's deadliest mass shooting in nearly 3 decades, with police confirming that the 2 alleged attackers behind the Bondi Beach assault travelled to the Philippines shortly before the attack. Authorities say early evidence points to an Islamic State-inspired terrorist act targeting a Jewish religious gathering. According to the Philippines Immigration Bureau, the 2 entered the country on the 1st of November and departed on the 28th. Suspect Sajid Akram travelled on an Indian passport, while his son Naveed used an Australian passport. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has also confirmed that the recent Sydney attack was inspired by the terrorist organisation Islamic State, calling it a global challenge and praising the courage of a civilian hero who intervened during the violence. He also spent nearly half an hour visiting Ahmed Al-Ahmed in a Sydney hospital. The Prime Minister thanked him on behalf of the Australian people and described him as the best of our country. The Kremlin says a proposed Christmas ceasefire put forward by Ukraine would depend on whether a broader peace deal is reached. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said the key question remains whether an agreement can be achieved, echoing comments by US President Donald Trump on reaching a deal. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Kyiv supports the idea of a ceasefire during the Christmas period, particularly a halt to strikes on energy infrastructure. The Netherlands says it will host an international claims commission for Ukraine. Dutch Foreign Minister David van Veel said the commission will be responsible for validating claims related to war damage in Ukraine, with the expectation that compensation would be sought from Russia at a later stage. He stressed that the body's role is to establish and verify claims, and that it does not provide an immediate guarantee that Ukraine will receive repayment for those damages. At least 7 people have been killed after a small private aircraft crashed while attempting an emergency landing in central Mexico. The aircraft, carrying 8 passengers and 2 crew members, had taken off from the Pacific coastal city of Acapulco and encountered difficulties mid-flight. Authorities said the pilot attempted an emergency landing on a football ground. During the landing attempt, the plane veered off course and struck a warehouse, causing a fire that engulfed the aircraft. US President Donald Trump has sued the BBC for defamation over edited clips of a speech that made it appear he directed supporters to storm the US Capitol. Trump accused the broadcaster of defaming him by splicing together parts of a January 6, 2021 speech, including one section where he told supporters to march on the Capitol and another where he said, "Fight like hell." It omitted a section in which he called for peaceful protest. Britain's military chief has said the country must get better prepared to deter the threat of conflict, particularly from Russia, by encouraging people to be willing to fight, increasing industrial weapons capacity, and developing skills. Chief of the Defence Staff, Air Chief Marshal Richard Knighton, told the RUSI think tank Britain had yet to feel the threat from Russia as acutely as many of our allies in Europe. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he believes the United States will help find a compromise in peace talks with Russia, even as differences over territory persist. Calling territorial concessions painful, he said Kyiv and Moscow still hold different positions, but stressed that Ukraine needs clear security guarantees, including ceasefire monitoring, before any decisions on front lines. Zelensky said the demands being discussed reflect Russia's position, not pressure from Washington. Meanwhile, European Union foreign ministers have approved new sanctions targeting those enabling Russia's so-called shadow fleet of oil tankers. An EU official said the measures hit businessmen linked to major Russian oil firms and shipping companies managing the vessels. The bloc also sanctioned individuals and entities accused of hybrid threats as part of efforts to tighten pressure on Moscow's energy exports. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.